It's Razor Pop lah!
Kung Fu legend Ip Man was brought to life by the film franchise of the same name, with huge success. In fact, Ip Man 2 was the top-grossing Hong Kong film in Singapore, dethroning the hugely popular Kung Fu Hustle by Stephen Chow. Not only did the legendary Ip Man become a household name in Asia, new students have turned up in increasing numbers to learn Wing Chun, according to Wing Chun masters in Asia. In Singapore, the Ip Man effect is evident as well. Master Chua Ka-ju of Wing Chun Kun Training Center reported that his student numbers have doubled and sometimes even tripled with the release of the films. In our living room, film critic Tae Kiek tells us what worked for the film franchise.
Kiek, you are an Ip Man fan. Tell me what works for you in this film.
They're well-made films, first of all. They're well-made films. There were good script, good acting, good actor was cast, Donnie Yen. And there's I think most important is that a lot of people identify with Ip Man. They have heard of him before, and especially in Hong Kong. And of course, there's a Bruce Lee connection. And although they fictionalize the story, but there's an historical element to it. It's based on a real character.
And that helps, right?
Yes, it helps a lot.
你叫什么名字？
我叫李小龙。
哦，那你为什么想学拳？
看到不顺眼的人，我就要打他。
So which of the elements you think worked, really made it a hit? Was it the Ip Man story, the Bruce Lee connection? Was it Donnie Yen that made it the way it is?
I think first and foremost, Ip Man is a recognizable name in the Kung Fu circles, especially in Hong Kong. So I think that name worked, Ip Man. And of course, when it first came on, you had this thing called Yip Man. It looked like Yip Man. People actually thought he was like a superhero.
Like IP Man.
Yeah, that's right. There were people...
A virtual hero.
Yeah, there were the Singaporeans. I see some of the kids saying IP Man, at the ticket counter. So all these things worked. It sticks in the mind. And Donnie is going to take over as the next Kung Fu star of Asian cinema. Jackie is getting older. Jet Li doesn't want to do so many of these films anymore. So Donnie feels the void.
Yeah.
And with it sounded like the beginning of a franchise, which it turned out to be.
Donnie Yen's stardom actually propelled the films quite a bit, yeah? So do you think, do you think Donnie Yen was perfectly cast?
Donnie Yen was perfectly cast in terms of currency and name recognition. Donnie, at that, when he first made the Ip Man, he was already coming recognized. He was recognized in Seven Swords and a few other sword fighting and martial arts. He fought Jackie Chan in one of the movies. And he also did action movies in Hollywood.
Contemporary ones.
That's right.
As well.
Donnie, he came at the right age. He was at the right. There was a hitness to him. People actually knew him. He was coming in at quite an appropriate time. And he is an actual practitioner. I mean, he's a Kung Fu martial arts practitioner.
Yes, he is.
And definitely the Bruce Lee connection, which they did it in the second one when they had a little boy.
It was well marketed. I mean, even in the first one, there were allusions to the fact that, the photos of Bruce Lee and
right.
Ip Man, Master Ip Man together.
Yeah, they play it up, right?
Yeah, of course. I mean, it's to their advantage.
If anyone in the marketing team doesn't mention Bruce Lee, it will sack the marketing team.
Ip Man 1 and Ip Man 2, which one of these did you prefer?
Definitely Ip Man, the first Ip Man, Ip Man 1.
Yeah.
The story was fresh, the character was fresh. There were the fighting scenes were good. It's a bit of humor and everything. Ip Man 2 was good, the rooftop training scenes which they had in the beginning. But the second half of Ip Man 2 turned into Rocky,
Yeah, with the Western boxer guy.
Yeah, that's right. Everybody knows that, the speech at the end and all that.
我很希望 从这一刻开始，我们大家可以学会懂得怎么去互相尊重。
Yeah, these elements, the idea of China versus foreigners, whether Japanese or Western, seems to be quite reminiscent of the Once Upon a Time in China.
Yeah.
You know the Wang Fei Hong China, like China is 亚洲的病夫, the sick man of
That's right,
Asia
that's right.
and all that.
Yeah.
So it's supposed to turn the whole idea of China as the sick man of Asia on its head, right?
Yeah.
So we're seeing a bit of nostalgia for that sort of traditional kung fu films with this dignity of Chinese pride and all that. What do you think about that?
You know, in all movies, you need to have a recognizable enemy. But I think audiences are, nowadays, they are sophisticated and mature enough to know that it's just a movie.
A lot of attention is paid to the martial art form Wing Chun, like even the grace and the style, which I think really works visually very well for screen, don't you think?
I see a lot of the scenes there. I think it's something like very close quarter fighting.
Yeah, close range fighting.
Yeah.
Yes.
Bruce Lee is very distinct. Bruce Lee his form is very distinct. You know, the flying kicks and all the jabs and all the quickness. You know. So if they come together in that way, it becomes actually, as you say, it's visually exciting. Very hard to film, but it's visually exciting.
We are looking forward to the third parter.
Yeah.
The Legend is Born. It's very interesting, like Wu Ling Mi Ji look here. So we are looking forward to...
Interesting photos inside.
Yeah, we see how all these stars, the upcoming star, Dennis To, will face up against... it will be quite interesting because in this one, it will be Wing Chun versus Wing Chun. Different branches of Wing Chun will be fighting against each other. So it's not just about, China versus the foreigner.
Yeah,
That's
right, that's right.
So this will be
Very
quite an interesting, the beginning of the legend Ip Man.
我是学咏春的，但不知道算不算正宗，有没有兴趣玩玩？